secrets of the Great Pyramids on the Nile. This is a guided visualization that will take you along a journey where you are on an Egyptian barge being rowed down the Nile, past all of the sacred 12 lunar temples, and finally coming to the 13th solar temple of the Pyramid of Giza, the Temple of the Sun. This will be explained to you during the meditation. For now, just know that every initiate of Egypt who wanted to become a god and learn how to be a god from the great teacher Thoth. Some of you know him as Thoth, some of you know him as Thoth, but he is the great scribe, the ibis-headed god of Egypt, the magician of Egypt, the scribe of Egypt. He who taught Isis the magic with which she brought Osiris back to life. You will be taught these secrets as we go along, but each candidate had to go through a year in each 12 lunar temples and a year in the 13th temple of the sun. This will be further explained to you in the meditation, in the visualization, which I will guide you through. I have been through these initiations, and now I'm going to take you through it in a way that isn't going to take you 13 years as it took me. It's only going to take you to listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to allow you to come to great secrets much faster, but you must take it seriously, and you must do the meditations by simply listening and understanding. You're not going to have to do any work. You just have to relax and let it sink in, but you must let it sink in deeply. And I promise you, once you know yourself, you will know everything, because you are the universe. We are going to relax you, and then we are going to take you on an inner journey. We're going to take you deep into other dimensions within yourself, other dimensions within space, and other dimensions within time, both microcosmic and macrocosmic, both within and without, as above, so below, as below, so above. Take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale. And relax and go deeper and deeper into physical relaxation as you sink in to the chair you're sitting in. Be in a relaxed position where you can be relaxed but not fall asleep. Take another deep breath in and exhale, and go deeper and deeper and deeper into more and more relaxation. And your third breath, inhale and exhale. You are now in a place that is very beautiful. You're wandering through a lovely field with small trees, small fruit trees, and miles of grass, and in the distance rolling hills. And there's birds making beautiful sounds, singing beautiful songs, and many animals, friendly animals. making their wonderful sounds. You feel the nice, warm, crisp breeze upon your face. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's not too humid. You're very comfortable. You find a nice place to lie down in the grass. You lie down comfortably. You can bring along a mat or a towel if you wish, or if you want to lay in the grass and feel the grass upon your skin, that's fine. On your back you feel the earth supporting you. In the sky, the sun projecting its warm, loving rays into your body. And every time you inhale the goodness of the earth and the sky. And every time you exhale any worries or concerns you may have. Now, as you lay in the grass, you begin to fall into a sleep state. It's not really a normal sleep state. You're actually going into a dream that is a lucid dream, a true dream, a dream that is just taking you into another dimension, in another space, in another time, the ancient future. You're going into a time that was and a time that will be again. And you are going to make it now, because now is the only time you have any power to create. As you fall asleep, you begin to wake up in your new space-time reality, in the ancient future of Egypt. And you find yourself, as you open your eyes, instead of it being where you remembered being, the warm sunny day walking through the trees and the grass, you realize it's nighttime. And you're lying on your back, and you realize you're in a boat, a barge, and you can hear the water slapping up against the sides, and you can hear the people rowing the boat, and you're laying on a beautiful silken pillow made specially for you, as if you're royalty. And you notice you're wearing a silky black robe with silver cord for sash around your waist and silver sandals on your feet, 12 silver medallions around your neck. These 12 silver medallions are inscribed with the sign of the zodiac and an insignia of the moon. And you look up at the sky and you see the velvet midnight sky studded with diamonds, stars, and it's the most beautiful sky you have ever seen. The most velvet midnight sky with the most brightly glittering stars, full of stars, a sky filled with stars, many of which are galaxies. There is so much life. And you realize then that you came from the stars and you yearn to go back. And this is what your teachings in the temples of Egypt are, about your heritage, that you came from the stars, and that is where you shall someday return. But tonight is for now. This moment is for now. Not to live in the past, not to live in the future, but to live for now. For only now can we be masters of our own universe. Masters of all we create, able to create our reality with our thoughts and our words and our deeds, yes, our actions. And you suddenly feel like you can do anything with just a thought, a laser will mixed with pure emotion, with no fear, only love, and you can do anything. And you begin to look around you, and you realize you're being taken up the Nile, and you're being taken past the 12 temples of the Zodiac. And you go past the 12 temples of the Zodiac, 6 on the right, 6 on the left, scattered. First Aries on the right, Taurus on the left, a few ways down, and then a little more ways down on the right again, Gemini. And you realize that the medallions around your neck signify that you have spent a year in each one of these temples. As you continue through the Zodiac, the entire Zodiac, you realize as you pass these temples, and you remember the year that you spent in each one, 12 years, to learn the secrets of the moon. And you know you're being taken to the final destination of the 13th pyramid, because you've already finished the last zodiacal lunar pyramid of Pisces. You are now being taken to the 13th pyramid of the sun. As you pass these pyramids that you have already conquered, the divine tones of these pyramids remain with you to prepare you for the final Temple of Giza, Temple of the Sun, the 12 lunar temples, Aries, I am, Taurus, I have, Gemini, I think, Cancer the crab, I feel, Leo the lion, I will, Virgo the virgin, I analyze, Libra the scales, we balance, Scorpio used to be originally a serpent that they decided to get rid of and turn into a scorpion, but the original Scorpio was a serpent that was lifted up by an eagle when it was lifted up to its higher self. That's a deep secret. Scorpios I create. Sagittarius I perceive. Capricorn I use. Aquarius I know. And Pisces I believe. And finally, you reach the Pyramid of Giza as the boat lodges into the black sands of the Nile. And you come to the Temple of Giza, the Pyramid of the Sun as if it's in the center of the zodiac. Of course, that's the way it looks from Earth, but of course that's not the way it is if you go out into space. But for the symbol of the sun, it's in the center of the zodiac. It is a symbol of the light within the center of the 12. The 13th moon, the blue moon, that takes you into the year. And you have now the 13th pyramid of Giza, the Temple of the Sun, the temple I manifest. And you are met at your boat as the boat lodges upon the black sands of the Nile by 12 proctors, mentors, who have come to assist you into the pyramid of Giza, where you have never been allowed to enter before. And these 12 proctors come to take you, the 13th, into the beautiful pyramid of Giza as it was in the beginning. It was a rainbow, red on the bottom, stripes, then orange, then yellow, then green, then blue, then indigo, then violet with the golden capstone. And the pyramid is so bright with petroglyphs and hieroglyphs and great secrets etched in and upon it and painted, and in front of it great statues of the gods and goddesses of Egypt that symbolize the 46 chromosomes of the immortal body of the immortal gods, meaning the immortals who originally engineered us genetically. We have their chromosomes within us. For Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal had 48 chromosomes. Why do we have 46 like the gods? Each god and goddess of Egypt represents a chromosome and a secret to immortality. That is another deep secret we shall delve into in further teachings. Your purpose here is to learn the secrets of immortality, both spiritual first and then physical. For spiritual is of course more important. The physical can always be, but the spiritual, that is the one that you must obtain if you are truly to have any type of immortality. The spiritual must come first. And you've spent years taming the ego, subjecting it to spirit, facing fear, turning it into love in the 12 temples of the moon. Your proctors and mentors escort you into the entrance hall, past the sign that is across the front of the pyramid. The Great Pyramid entrance hall, the great sign says, "Know thyself." Every great temple, no matter what country or culture it is found, is always the same. Know thyself, for thyself. You are truly master of your own self. You are truly master of your own universe. You are a universe within yourself. In the image of the great macrocosm, you are a microcosm identical. And if you only open your eyes and your heart and your mind, you will know that you are as big as the macrocosm, and you are the universe, and you are this enormous being with enormous potential. You are, quite frankly, a god. Now that word has many connotations. You can call yourself a goddess, you can call yourself a god, but the point is you are master of your universe. Your word is law, and you decide what happens. And you look down at your body and it's this small little thing, such a small part of you. And it's your thoughts and your words and your attachments that make your body and your physical reality either do things that make you happy or do things that make you sad. If you let your body rule you, then yes, you'll age and die and suffer sicknesses and pains. And if you let the world around you rule you, and if you think it's more real than the true mastery of your own thoughts, if you think that the outside has any power over you, the things external, other people, outside events, if you think these projections have any kind of power over you, then surely you shall suffer enormously. Once you realize that you create everything that happens to your body, and that every person you meet is a projection of something within you, and that every star you see in the sky, and every tree, and every animal, and everything that approaches you and surrounds you is a construct of your mind. Once you understand that, then you'll understand what the word Lord, Lady, God, Goddess, Master, Mistress really means. And here in the Temple of Giza, the Pyramid of the Sun, I Manifest is where you are going to finally take ownership of your being. I am. I manifest. The snake bites its tail. The beginning, Aries, I am, and the end, I manifest. Alpha and Omega, there is no beginning and no end. You will understand that there is only the eternal now. You enter the great entrance hall, and there are the 46 huge statues of the huge, tall, enormous gods and goddesses of Egypt, the 46 symbols of the chromosomes of the immortals that is dormant in your body until now, surrounding you, and they are not something that looks like a ruin from the past. They are painted up as if they were painted yesterday, fresh and beautiful, and gold is covering the walls. You are walking on floors of lapis lazuli, beautiful blue, etched with gold. You're in heaven. Your proctors take you into a room, and within this room, it's dark. And they take you, and you can barely see that the room itself is in the shape of a pyramid, a four-sided pyramid. And they tell you to go behind a screen where there's a bench and things for your comfort, and change your clothes. And you go into this room, and there is your white robe and your golden sash to go around your waist, and your golden slippers to put on your feet. So instead of your black hooded robe with the silver adornments, you're guided by your proctors to take off the silver pendants for now. Not to get rid of them. Don't discard what you've learned. Never discard what you've learned. No one can take that away from you. They're yours forever. But just to place them down. And I want you to remember that silver tarnishes. It's not pure. Remember that. On your black robe, place your silver slippers and your silver sash and your silver pendants, and don't look at them as if they're beneath you. Know that they have made you what you are, ready to now put on the white hooded robe made of fine silks. And you are now given golden slippers in the shape of sandals that lace up your leg, and a golden sash. You don't get your pendant yet. You need to earn that. Now, you put the hood over your head and you walk out. Your proctors take you into the middle of the floor. And there's a very dim, sort of mixing together blue and violet illumination. You're not sure exactly where it's coming from, but as you look down at the proctor's lower solar plexus area, you see that the light is emanating from them, right in their solar plexus. And you realize that true light emanates from within you. Not from without, but from within. And that's, again, something you will learn here, to emanate light from within you. You hear a strange noise, as if stone is moving upon stone. But it sounds smooth, as if gold moving upon gold. And you look up, and the top of the pyramid has slid open for you so that you can see the stars above you. And right now, you look up, and Isis Sothis, known as Sirius or Canis Major, but to the Egyptians, Isis Sothis is right above you. And blue and violet light is pouring from this star system down and pouring right into the top of your head, the crown chakra. You're instructed to exhale as the light enters you. Inhale from the ground, receive earth energy. Exhale, and let the blue-violet light of the stars enter you. For the secret is you cannot breathe in that which is above. You can only receive it on the exhale. Empty yourself of yourself, and it will enter from heaven. Heaven enters you when you exhale. And that is a pyramid that's facing downwards. That is a golden pyramid with a golden body, but with a rainbow capstone, the exact opposite of the one you're sitting in. That's a rainbow pyramid body with a golden capstone facing up. The one facing up is the Earth tetrahedron. In Merkaba, where there's a three-sided pyramid, four-sided pyramid, same thing. It's from the Earth. When you inhale, the energy comes in you from the Earth. From the base of the pyramid you're sitting in. When you exhale, you receive all this beautiful star energy, golden white star energy. And in this case, Isis Sothis sends you also blue and violet especially. But at the tip of the golden white pyramid that's coming down to complete your star pyramid, especially in that rainbow capstone coming down, the base on top, the point coming down to meet you, the point goes right into the top of your head on the exhale, and you receive all of this light. In this particular instance, the blue and the violet are especially activated. That is the crown chakra and the throat chakra. Now, you are in a star pyramid in this surrounding of potential laser beam energies. See yourself within the star pyramid and know that the one that faces up rotates clockwise, and the one that is pointing down, that is the one from heaven, because the base is in heaven, so the energy enters through the base on the exhale. That one's rotating counterclockwise. And for every 34 times it goes around counterclockwise from heaven, the potential laser pyramid you're in that's facing up goes 21 times clockwise. And just know that they have come together to form a perfect balanced star within you, around you, as big as the room, as big as the universe, as big as you, as big as the smallest subatomic particle in your body, from the most large to the most small. And notice the center tube from the top of your head coming out your perineum between the rectum and the genitals. The flap of skin between the rectum and the genitals comes from the crown chakra to the perineum. There's a tube of space that goes right through your body that gets filled with the energy of the earth and the heavens, the star energy and the earth energy. This space is going to expand and be able to take more and more power from both the earth and the stars and the sun. And you will never have to take power from other people as evil people do. You can stay pure and clean and good by simply absorbing from that which is wanting to give to you and is limitless. Now that you've received this wonderful energy and teaching, pyramid, the top of it, you begin to hear the soft gold on gold noise pushing back, closing the top, where the gold capstone is closing, and at the end you can hear the stone on stone goes back into place. And you realize that what you've received is more of the earth, that your next teaching will be something more of spirit, where you will create a star tetrahedron that really has to do with your chakras. The 7 deathless glands in your body, which have just been enlivened by the energy of Isis Sothis and by creating a star pyramid, and by activating it and letting it rotate, you have enlivened the 7 deathless glands in your body. Number 1, either your testicles or ovaries. Number 2, your adrenals. Number 3, your pancreas. Number 4, your thymus gland. They're all 7 deathless glands of the body. Number 5, the thyroid. Number 6, the pituitary. And number 7, the pineal. Now, there will be people that will argue about the pineal and pituitary locations. However, in a body that is not enlightened, in a body that is still not that of a god, that is made out of carbon, 666, 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, it's reversed. It's not reversed physiologically, it's only reversed energetically, because actually the pineal is a bit above the pituitary. And in a 666 body, a body made of carbon that does not transmit prana, and you can't live off of prana, which is everywhere, in the light, in the dark, everywhere you go. In that type of body, the pituitary gland has to be the master gland of the body, ruling over all the glands, and the pineal is dormant and only does small duties. But in the 999 silicon body, which you will have when you are finished here, and you will become immortal, and you can just use prana to live, and you don't have to eat, and you don't have to do such foul things as eating. You can just have prana come in through your pranic tube, your 999 body made out of silicon. Well, then the pineal will be enlivened, and it will do all of its proper function, and ambrosia will be released, and you will become immortal. Because ambrosia is the hormone of the immortals. The food of the gods is right inside your brain. It's not hidden away somewhere in some foreign country. And right now, if you're in a 666 body made of carbon and you have not activated your pineal, well, your pituitary is producing cortisol, which is the death hormone. And that is what we need to stop. And that is what we will do here. This is your first visit to the Pyramid of Giza, the Temple of the Sun, the Temple of I Manifest, where you will learn how to become a god. In this first visit, we are going to teach you a very important ritual, the first step to becoming a god. You must learn to control and command the 4 sacred winds of Egypt. This is at the core of everything that you shall ever learn. It's the fundamental foundation of everything else you will learn. And although it may seem simplistic to you now, it is very powerful, and after you do it, you'll feel the power of it. It's not something you have to do every single time. It's not the only ritual, but it is indeed the first ritual you must learn and must practice and become an adept at. And once you get that under your belt, then you can proceed with even more sublime rituals. And the more sublime the rituals and the more advanced, the more simple they actually become. But you must earn them. For if we give you simplistic, high-power rituals now, they won't work for you because you have not earned them, and you can't understand the abstract meaning of them. But when you start with the 4 winds of Egypt and you work your way up, then when we finally give you the very top rituals that are very easy to do, you will understand, and you will, as the Hindus say, do nothing but think and accomplish everything. So here we go. Now, I'm going to walk you through it so you don't really have to do anything on your own. As I promised you, we'd make this very easy for you. But you do need to listen, and you do need to feel and allow what I'm guiding you through to surge through every pore of your mind, body, and soul. I will walk you through it, but you must come with me. So take my hand and here we go. You stand in the center. You are the center of the universe. And in front of you is where the sun rises in the east. Behind you is where the sun sets in the west. To your right is the south, and to your left is the north. There is also above and below you. Now you have the 6 points, the 6 coordinates from the center from which all creation began. The directions which were expanded upon, light extending out from you in 6 directions, taking on form and spinning. And as they spun, they began to create life as we know it. And the 7th movement was one of completion and rest, for 7 is the number of completion and rest. 7 is the center. 7 is you, in the center of your universe. Now we are going to call upon the winds of Egypt. There are 2 ways to call upon the powers of the directions of fire, water, air, and earth. There are earth coordinates, which we will learn first, which we will learn now. And then there are astrological star coordinates, which we will learn next time. They're different. And one thing you've got to learn is that in the previous teachings you've all had, you think you make magical, miraculous circles clockwise. Well, all magical and miraculous circles are done counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is the direction of magic. That doesn't mean we never go clockwise, but most powerful magic is done going counterclockwise. It's something you've never been taught. You've been taught it's a way to banish. You've been taught it's the way to undo things. No, it's a way to really recreate your universe, and we will tell you why. But before we get to that, we're going to go over what you already know. What you already know is that you have to create some kind of circle around you, but I'm not going to allow you to go clockwise. I'm going to have you go according to the elements, and you will see that the Egyptians did not set up the elements to go fire, water, air, earth, which is the 4 exact directions that you go. They're the elements you go to in order to create anything. The Egyptians made it work counterclockwise using the stars, but on Earth, using the coordinates of the Egyptian winds, they did not set it up that any circle would work. They make you go in the form of a cross that represents the 4 elements. So I'm going to have you going to the south for fire, going to the west for water, going to the east for air, and going to the north for earth. Now that's not a circle. So what we're going to do is to keep it in traditional spiritual circle format. We're going to go from the center to the south and back to the center, then from the center to the west and back to the center, from the center to the east, back to the center, from the center to the north and back to the center, where we will be finished. That way, you create a circle with spokes, which is also, when they use it in the color white, 8 spokes in a wheel produce the term and the symbol of spirit. And we also can do the corners later, and that will give you the 8 spokes. These are the first 4 spokes of your spiritual wheel, and we will later give you the corners, which like southeast and northeast and all of that, which will give you your 8 spokes of spirit. So we are not going to deviate from the old tradition of the circle, but I'm not going to let you go clockwise. And I'm going to force you to go in the pattern of fire, water, air, earth. Because if you go in a clockwise circle, you will be going air, fire, water, earth. And that is not the way the elements form to create manifestation of the universe. It's fire, water, air, earth that creates manifestation and creates the universe. That creates anything. So this is the way we do it on earth coordinates when we are enlightened and when we are above low magic. This is high magic now. And next time we will teach you the coordinates from the stars, which are fire, water, air, earth, in a counterclockwise circle, which is a secret nobody wants to tell you. But it's set up that way, and you'll see it. All right. So we're going to try earth coordinates now. You stand in the center, and you walk towards the south to your right. You're facing the east as you stand in the center, but you turn and face to your right and walk towards the south. And as you walk towards the south, you say, I call upon the dry, hot winds of the south and the southern winds of Egypt, from where all heat and dryness comes forth, from where my will is set free, my passion and my will and my ambition comes surging through me and surging through the hot winds of Egypt. Come to me now and join my circle, so be it. Then you walk back towards the center and you turn and face the west. And you walk towards the west and you say, I now call upon the west, the western winds of Egypt, those winds which are cold and wet, those winds that are my emotion, those winds that bring me my love, my joy, my despair, any kind of emotion I have that gives me a reason to continue to want to live, to love life, to want to become an immortal, a completely blissful immortal who never has a negative emotion and never has a bad day, but always has bliss and always has knowing and lives eternally in an immortal, young, and beautiful body. This emotion drives me forward. I call upon the cold, wet winds of Egypt and the cold, wet winds of the West. Bring this magic to me now through my emotions. And now you go back towards the center. So that has so far been fire and water, and now we go to the next element in the progression of how we manifest reality, and we go to the east, where there is the element of air, and we say, I call upon air, the winds of Egypt from the east. I call upon the east, the eastern winds of Egypt, which are warm and moist, the balmy, sultry, sweet-smelling, moist, warm winds of Egypt, which represent air and my intellect and my reason. For if I know, then I am in a beautiful place. And you must use your intellect and your reason to understand, but you must not let it get in your way. It must work together with your will and your emotions and your body. And this is now your reason, your mind. Air, east, is your mind. The warm, moist, balmy, sweet-smelling winds of Egypt. And you go back towards the center. And now you turn and face north, and you walk towards the north and say, I now invoke the north, the northern winds of Egypt, which are dry and cold. Let these winds come to me now, which represent the earth. The earth represents my body, and my body is what I use to become a god, from a mere human to a god. As we crawled out of the primordial oceans and became one evolutionary step after another with intervention by star beings, we are now ready to become gods and fly amongst the stars as they do, fold space, go through superstrings, use wormholes, become star beings. Yes, our bodies are not to be a prison, but something to be enjoyed, a playground for us to enjoy our life, not a prison. Our bodies must not get old and die, and must not know pain, but they must know only bliss, beauty, and youth, and immortality. I now call upon the cold, dry winds of Egypt to fortify my body and add my body to my magic, to my reason, and my will, and my emotion, and all four of these are my tools that I use to drive myself forward to become a god of Egypt. You go back to the center and you say, so be it. I have called upon fire from the south. I have called upon water from the west. I have called upon air from the east, and I have called upon earth from the north. And I stand in the center owning my own will, my own emotions, love, my own intellect and reason, and my own body. And I stand before you ready to become a god. This ritual is now complete. So be it. Now, you stand in the center and contemplate for a moment how much power is surging through you. You have no idea of the power of the winds of Egypt. They are mighty and they are strong. Your proctors surround you in a circle and instruct you to sit down in the center and for a moment just contemplate what you've just done, absorb it, let it sink in. Just sit and be in the center for a moment, and also recognize that not only have you called upon the 4 directions, but you've called above and below. So all 6 directions with you in the 7th point, the center. And they surround you in a circle and say, you are the center of your universe. And almost keep saying it as if in a chanting. You are the center of your universe. You are master and lord of your universe. Mistress and lady, master and lord of your universe. You are in control here. Your thoughts and your words and your actions create everything that happens to you. Sit and know this. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. And they begin to just Now, as you feel more relaxed, more and more relaxed, but alert, your proctors have you stand and follow them. Now you go back to your proctors and they tell you to go change out of your white robe back into your black robe. And as you put on your sandals and your sash and your necklaces, you find that they have turned from the silver that tarnishes into white gold. They're no longer able to tarnish, they are now white gold. The moon is no longer something that tarnishes. The lunar part of you has become pure and not tarnished by fear or negative thinking. You have risen a great deal tonight. And in your ecstasy, you put your black robe on humbly and your white gold sandals and your white gold sash around your waist and your 12 white gold medallions of the lunar pyramids that you have already been through the 12 years you've been studying and facing your physical fears. And you are taken by your proctors back through the beautiful halls, the entrance halls with the statues of the gods and goddesses, the 46 of Egypt, that once again represent your chromosomes. And you are taken past the sign that says, know thyself, and you know yourself much better now, don't you? But you don't know everything yet. You have to return. You have to be here for a year before you're really ready to be a complete, total master. But you're well on your way. And you're taken across the black sands of the Nile, helped into your barge. You get on your silk pillow, lay back and look up at the stars, and you row back the way you came, looking up at the velvet midnight sky with this beautiful diamond-studded sky coming just like velvet with diamonds laying on it. So many diamonds, so beautiful. Once again, the stars from which you came, to which you now feel part of. No longer do they seem like a far, far away home that you long for, but you now feel at home when you look at them, that you're already home. And as you are rowed back down the Nile, listening to the slapping of the water against the boat as you look up at the night sky of velvet diamonds. The velvet sky with the beautiful, beautiful diamond-studded sky. You slowly, slowly, slowly pass through the time and space dimensions and come back, back, back to feeling the sun on your face and the green grass and the fruit trees and the hills. And you open your eyes and you've had a lovely time. And this place, this beautiful field and fruit tree grove with hills in the far distance, you can come back to the safe place anytime you want, for it's a launching pad to many dimensions. And then you can now go back into your dimension that you originally came from on Terra, on Earth. And you can go on with your activities and make sure that you feel relaxed but awake. You're coming more and more awake, relaxed, more and more awake, relaxed, fully awake and fully relaxed. You're back now where you began. So be it, and may the heavens bless you with the milk and honey of paradise.